Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at who should you consider Extreme Z Awakening in DBZ Dokkan from the World Tournament selections. Now this screen alone should give you an idea of who have already Extreme Z Awakened, but I will be covering like the priority Extreme Z Awakenings. Of course, your goal at the end of the day should be to Extreme Z Awaken all of them. There's no reason not to ultimately, but obviously there's a priority list, like what am I actually going to use, what could I possibly use, how to use these resources wisely, because if you're a new player joining or you're even a veteran player, you're not going to have enough to do every single unit. Now the AGR, LRTN and Chaozu are the newest LR Extreme Z Awakening, and they look pretty good. At a rainbow level they can be really solid. Even at 55% they can be very solid. Now obviously the mitigating factor about them is the categories. So how many categories are they on? And it's quite a steep investment. You know, both them and Piccolo are 135 Hercule's autographs, which is a lot. It's not something you can very easily get. If you have Int Bond of Master and Disciple Gohan, or you plan on something on the Gohan and Piccolo unit that will be coming up, you should go for Piccolo. Piccolo should be the priority because he has better synergy with those units in the hard content. Although Tien and Chaozu are very good, they are still not that great synergistically with a lot of teams. They're very limited in terms of category. They don't generally dominate the game as much. And Piccolo can really enable some strong LR units. Aside from the two LRs who should be priority, Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan still remains the best Extreme Z Awakening, I feel, or the most versatile and usable. He's a third slot floating unit, and yes, AoE events are going to absolutely dominate him, but it's not a problem. Overall, I think he's still just a great unit, and realistically, I think he does a lot of really good stuff for the teams that he's on. Aside from that, taking a look at kind of the remaining units, I feel like Tech GT Vegeta is in a good position. I think he runs pretty well. I think he works well on his team. He is very limited, but I think he does provide a viable long-form unit for that team. So I think that would also be really good. Then aside from that, Tech Goku, relatively usable, kind of a worse version of Gohan. Solid enough on a Super Saiyan team, but not, again, a unit that's going to deal well with AoE content, but still a solid floating support. He's like a less good version of Gohan, basically. Now, obviously from beyond those, there are some interesting other options. So we have Demon King Piccolos. A lot of the Demon King Piccolos are actually decent options because of the fact that they do two things. So firstly, they resonate quite well when it comes to extreme teams. Lots of support and utility that both him and the Int one are providing. Obviously very limited characters, but you know, it's one of the few occasions you have to get Demon King Piccolos. So yeah, that's kind of really it. Then we have some of the new ones. Boo Super looks very interesting. The stats will probably hold him back, so unless he's rainbowed or you got a couple dupes, you probably won't see great play out of him. But the fact that he heals is very powerful. The amount he heals can be very good. Healing characters tend to be very solid floating units. I'm not saying he's going to break the bank, but we very rarely get some decent Boo units. And with the physical type support Boo getting his EZA soon, that is going to help out. And then we have Goku Kaioken, probably the second most viable unit to EZA, aside from Gohan. He looks good. He's an orb changer. He has the ability to have guard with 3 or more orbs, and he gains a lot of attack and defense. So even with his low stat base, he should come out okay. So Goku feels like probably the most natural second best option on this team, or you know, as an Extreme Z Awakening, just in general. But yeah, honestly speaking, that's really about it. The rest are either okay or too restricted or a little bit average, aren't necessarily broken or super duper good, and you can kind of prioritize them however you want afterwards. It's not that they're bad, it's just that they are rather more limited. You have units like Strength Team Gohan's good in SBR, multiple unit situations, same with Tech Turles, but you know, outside of that, not too great. Goku Youth, the DB Saga one, not great. He's got like a lot that he needs to work on, and there's a lot of better Goku Youth options. Kami doesn't feel as impactful as you kind of want him to be. Int Bardock is just kind of a worse version of the other Bardock. So yeah, that really feels about it in terms of who you should easy aim. Of course, it's your own opinion, and that's it from me. Bye.